Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ian.is Weirdo. So, we'll get into the heavy stuff in a sec, but I just wanted to show you something that I think is pretty funny. So, I put this shirt on because I got it from Temu like in December, right? When I was, or maybe earlier November, when I was like planning my Alzheimer's fundraiser, and one of the giveaways. You okay? You okay, buddy? You back there? Where are you? Okay, where are you? Right here. Are you just going upstairs? Okay, that's cool, buddy. Hey, what's up, dude? Um, so, uh, so I need my buddy here with me. I need to move this bed like right next to me, but it's hard to walk with it. Anyways, so I got this shirt because they were like, "Oh, you get $300 off in coupons and stuff like that," which that's how they get you. But anyways, digress. And so, like, all the coupons that you won had to be used within 3 days, so you had to buy stuff right away. And I was like, no, I got this to use for like the Centro and stuff like that. Hey, Nifty, welcome in. So I got the shirt. I'm just gonna get through this and I'll get to the topic at hand. But I got this shirt. It feels awful. Looks really cool. Feels like the thinnest, cheapest material that's ever been made. It was like maybe $6, but don't buy clothes at 15. But like, so I put on this shirt and then I looked in the mirror and like, look at my pajama pants. Like they match exactly. Like look, nope, that cat and this cat, like they're identical. I'm like, okay, maybe I have a problem. Maybe I have a type. So I thought this would be a mental health update and a finished object update. So I guess I'll just kind of do them both at the same time. I know, right? It's like almost identical. I was like, shit, is it the same fabric? It's not, but it's really close. My pajamas are a lot softer. So I'm gonna let my cat out. I knew this would happen. Okay. So, basically, my mental health has just been like, what Nightbot just dropped is the link for the fundraiser that I'm doing so that I can have a booth. I had a dream last night where I canceled it, but I don't think that's so. But if you want to just come to the fundraiser, you can just click on the link that is provided and press remind me, and it'll remind you that that's coming up 30 minutes before it starts. It's on March 16th. This is like 2 weeks before my top surgery, so I don't know what I'm going to be able to do after my top surgery, so that's the whole thing. But I've started making stuff for Pride. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that my mental health has been pretty unsteady for several years, and I've been trying to get it under control, but it's really not. It's not doing that. Just a quick list off of like things that I deal with on the daily: bipolar, borderline, PTSD, CPTSD, whatever, anxiety, agoraphobia, other stuff. Like it's a lot. So, um, so basically, a couple weeks ago, I started leading into a mixed episode, and I really felt it coming. But I kind of, so I tried to head it off with some of my emergency meds. They helped a little bit in the moment, but it was still pretty rough. And thanks, Nifty. Everyone appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of my cross to bear. I think we all have things to go through, but that's why I'm disabled. And like I'm also getting closer to the point of like hearing back from my disability determination. So that's, stressful, and I'm coming out of like recovery from my surgery in very late December, early January. Um, my gallbladder and all that pain and stuff. And so for some reason, my mental health just kind of took a big turn. And so it wasn't doing well when I was recovering. I'll tell you that. Like, I did not handle that well. And then, um, so I started this mixed episode. So for those of you who don't know bipolar very well, or even if you do know bipolar very well, you might not have experienced or seen a mixed episode. So a mixed episode is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You experience symptoms of hypomania and mania and depression at the same time. So you're like a ping pong ball, just like ping pong, or maybe like more closer to like a bullet, like ricocheting off like metal walls. Like it's the shirt looks so good, but trust me, it feels so bad. It feels like the lining of um of like uh like uh bathing suits. It's so gross. Um but I started having this mixed episode. It was messy. Mixed episodes are among the most miserable I can be as a person, just based on like my mental health. Because I feel like my skin's crawling. I feel like I want to just rip it off. My mind is just like goo. It has all these ideas, but I have no motivation to do it. It's a mess. I hate being in a mixed episode. So I'm miserable while I'm in it. Um, like even people who are bipolar and um, even people who are bipolar who like mania, which I personally don't like my mania. I don't find it a reprieve from anything. Some people like it because they're finally not depressed. For me, not a fan. And um, but nobody likes mixed episodes. They are awful for everyone. Like that should be a sign, right? So I felt it coming, and it feels very unique. I feel like I get certain shocks of like energy that are typical of me into like hypomania and mania, but I'm also just like so exhausted, right? Um, and so I had that mixed episode for maybe a week and a half, and then started moving into a depressed episode, which I've been in ever since. And as I was moving into my mixed episode, I noticed that my sleep went from being like the most normal maybe it's ever been to being so fucking chaotic. It's it's crazy. And so my sleep right now is like one of my main concerns, because sleep is important for everyone. Getting proper sleep, having good sleep hygiene, all of that stuff, very important for everybody, no matter whether you're mentally ill or you're not. But when you're bipolar, schedule and sleep are like among the most critical things for maintaining any semblance of mental health. Um, and like, so I always say that with like the hope that I'm not like offending anyone by saying like sleep is more important to me than it is to you. But like, in a sense, it kind of is, because like I lose my shit if I can't sleep. Yeah, honestly, I didn't sleep, uh, let's see, Saturday to Sunday night. Saturday night, I didn't sleep at all because I was hoping to reroute my schedule. And by the time it was like 11 or 12, I was ready to go to sleep. I woke up at 10. I was like, wow, I finally got my sleep back on schedule. And then at noon, I went to sleep and I slept till like fucking 5 or something. Like, but like when you're depressed, you're so tired. Like, I mean, you're not always, but usually you're just so tired, you just want to sleep the day away. And then I know that that can mess up my sleep schedule further. So I have an appointment with my psychiatrist tomorrow, and we're going to talk about it. she prescribed, I talked to you like last week or 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever, about how my sleep medicine that was making me sleep perfectly just stopped working. But this is also at the same time that I was having like a mixed episode. And so she prescribed a new one, but it's required prior authorization from the insurance company, and they've been maybe it has been filled, maybe it hasn't. I haven't checked in a few days, but the pharmacy said they get back to me. But I know stuff comes up. So, but like I've tried like pretty much all my old medicines, things that I know will make me like conk out and sleep well, and like literally nothing is working. So I don't even know if this new medicine is going to work because nothing's helping me sleep at night. So yeah, I 2 nights in the past 5 days, I've not slept through the night at all, and that's really bad, really really bad. So I am quite depressed. I'm struggling to get motivation to like get online, to make stuff, to do anything, but then I get this like weird burst of energy at like 1, 2 in the morning where I'm like, I can crochet now. And so I want to hold on to that and grab onto it. Then it's 5 or 6 a.m. and I'm like, fuck, I fucked it all up. But I'm not getting tired when I'm supposed to, all of this stuff. Oh, I did want to mention, please keep Granny D, Knit Pearl and Squirrel with Granny D Thompson, if you know her by her YouTube name, and Lydia, I believe it's Yarn Works and Crafts, by Lydia. In your thoughts, both of them have some pretty significant leg injuries, and we want to keep them in our minds and in our hearts, if you know them. Even if you don't know them, you can always send positive vibes, right? So yeah, they're struggling with some leg issues right now. We're hoping the best for them. This is just sparkling water. It's not anything fancy. But anyways, so we're gonna try to handle that because like I'm like not in a great place right now. I'll be like totally transparent to you, but I have high potential to get into an even worse place if I can't get my sleep under control. So let me show you the bags that I've been working on. So this is one I've been working on for a while, and I put it down all the time, so I never really like did it. Also, I like added a stitch right here, so I'm like, just don't notice that, like. But it is sparkly silver. It's hard to see when you're not in person, but yeah, it's sparkly. It's not just gray. Even if it was just gray, I think it would be pretty. But like, yeah, it's sparkly, and then it has like a little handmade for you with love. I got these at Walmart. Honestly, I just wanted something to start putting on my bags, and this seemed like a good way to start. But I don't make a lot of things where I would put buttons on things. But anyways, so here is a bag. The strap is made with it's on the panel setting in the centro. Yeah, it worked really well. I had a little trial and error process with the other bag I'm going to show you, but I thought market bags, if I did my Pride booth, would be a really good seller. And like they're just like they're fun, they're convenient, and this one's I loved it. I think I'm gonna call it my prism bag just because it has like a little like ray of. And then I finally I think figured out how to make the drop stitch bag that I had been dreaming of for Pride. So I tried it with this yarn, which this is the Trans Pride, which is called Life. Sorry. Just being in this area where all that like wool was yesterday, I'm like, oh gosh. That's really sexy. So I did a drop stitch pattern. And so not only does it, let me put my microphone in here. I use this for one live and it's been here for, but like, so you see it stretches quite a bit, as does the strap. So I shortened the strap about 5 inches for that strap, and I'm happy with that length. But even still, it's like a perfect length, right? And it stretches out and it stretches down. So it looks better definitely with stuff in it, but so this is something I wanted to be able to make because I was like, hopefully I can make a bag with you know, with the Centro and have it be faster. So and this strap is a little bit thinner. I think this is 5 across, and I think that's 7 across, but or 7 stitches. But yeah, so this is the bisexual pride yarn, and all of the complaints I've heard about this yarn for since it's been out have been totally confirmed by me. The color is just so inconsistent. Like, it's fun enough for like a market bag or something like that, but like if you were making something like super meaningful, I just don't feel like you'd get the vibe with this. So this side shows, so these are 2 panels that are sewn together, right? And basically, you know what I should do? I should just like, I should just do the strip longer and fold it there. That's so much smarter. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm having a moment where I realize how dumb I am. But yeah, so so this is 2 panels, right? So the bisexual flag is 3 colors, sorry. It is pink, blue, and purple. So you can actually see pink, you can see blue, which the blue looks suspiciously like purple, and then you have this purple color, which I think it's a strange choice of like the color picks that they actually did. But if you look at this other striping, there's no purple at all. Like, what the fuck? And I didn't use like that much yarn, but you see all the striping of like I mean, like you might see like a little tiny bit of purple, but like even in the handle, you don't see any purple. It's just pink and blue. So I'm kind of like, did you not really like pay attention? Hey, Winter. And like when I did my trans pride flag, there was only like one tiny strip of white compared to the rest of the bag. I'm just kind of, anyways. So so yeah, I finished the bag, and I think I'm gonna if I do the which I'm still planning on doing um the fucking fuckery. What's the word? The booth of pride. I will have all of the pride colors available, and I might do some like self-striping ones, just to just to accommodate more, or just like even have versions that aren't variegated, they're just striped. So which I was also showing that I finished my little prism bag. The length of the strap is actually like exactly what I wanted. It does stretch quite like a little bit, but I added more stitches to this one, stretches less. But it has like a little button that says "Handmade for you with love." I got it at Walmart. Like, I wanted to get like handmade tags, like leather tags that said like weirdo or like something like that. I even looked at like making my own by buying pre-made leather tags and then like hammering the letters in myself. But I figured I'd give these a try first because I didn't think I would make a lot of stuff that um, would have tags. So we'll see. But yeah, so this is sparkly uh, yarn, so it's fun. And then right now, I am making something simple, but they always take suspiciously longer than you think they should because you're like, it's literally so small. But I decided to make my stress ball pattern, and this is not an original thought by me, so please don't give me credit. But the stress ball pattern that I have that looks like a brain, I took a hair tie, because you can make a bigger one that way, and you can also twist it, and it's more of like a stress ball, or you can put it on like a regular ponytail holder. There's a hole in there, just so you know. I'm trying to prove it. Oh my gosh, winter. Okay, look at my shirt. It's from Temu. You would hate it. The texture is awful. I hate it. But shirt from Temu. I bought it very cheap. I think we've talked about this before. But then I looked at what PJs I was already wearing, and like, look at them. They're exactly the same, basically. Like it's almost identical pattern. This is just like a little bit more creepy. These are like cute, spooky, and this is like more spooky, but like I'm such a loser. But if you want to see my brain stress balls, so this is what happens when you make. I think the video had like 6 or 10 chains in the center. You can see where my thumb is, and then you do as many double crochets around it as you can, and then in the next row you slip stitch into the first row. The next row you do 4 double crochets into each stitch, and then in the next row you do 4 double crochets, so you get this like nice squishy stress ball brain. And so I wanted to create some rainbow ones. So this is Red Heart favorite stripe. I have held off on making this because every time I see it in store, I'm like, it's ugly. Like it's ugly. But then it creates stuff like this, and you're like, it's beautiful, right? You never know. But I've been seeing so many people use it, and I'm like, it's freaking beautiful. Why am I holding off? I also have this like gray and pink one that has like this discontinued yarn. I think it was called Flowers. It was a premier. It was a premier Dollar Tree yarn, but they're so good. They're so squishy. So I plan on having quite a few fidgets because they'll be affordable for people. And I know a lot of people in the queer community are also in like the neurodivergent community, vice versa. So and plus, like, everyone needs a stress ball. Even if you're not neurodivergent, even if you're not mentally ill, we all get stress. Sorry if I'm like very like sniffly and sneezy. Yesterday I was working on the guts for my rib cage thing. And I think I'm allergic to whatever kind of wool this is, which I'm not allergic. I've never been allergic to any thing before, but I was just sewing this in, and I was like felting it with my hands. I was getting wet and like I'm just like rubbing it with my hands, and it just was like, ugh. Like I just started sneezing, and like my nose was sniffly and itchy. So this is what it looks like so far. I still have some ends to sew in, but yes, it's guts. And so they lie out kind of like this. This is what the person wanted. And then I'm going to add like different shades of red and some embroidery floss that's kind of sparkly. Hey, Cammie, welcome in. Great to see you. But even like now, I'm like that. It's just my throat. Fluffy guts. Love it. Yeah. And it's funny because like when the client showed me their reference picture, I knew exactly like what I wanted. And I was like, well, I'll probably have to order it online, but let me go to this like thrift store that has yarn and see if they see if they have something that works. So I went the day after Black Friday, so of course they didn't have any deals, but I found that exact yarn, and I was like, fuck yeah. I was like, I trusted my gut, and I knew it. So I thought it was unspun wool. Turns out it's spun. It's just like very fluffy and very, very thin. It's like lace weight. And so I was just like, I was so happy. And it was $1.50 for all of that. So I was super happy. but I've never dealt with anything like that before, so I was like, good God, what do I do? I tried to felt it, and so I don't have a felting needle. I did look online. Anyone who like felt, I did want to ask this, and I don't know if I did or not. I looked on Amazon because I was like, I mean, a felting needle would be ideal, but do I need the sponge as well, and like all this stuff? And then I looked on Amazon, and there were kits, but they had like it was like $20 a kit for like all the kits, and I was like, I don't even know what I need. Like really, like if I used a felting needle like in my daily, as leather said, like a lot of people use felting needles to like felt their ends in so they don't come undone, and I was like, that's genius. But then I was like, how do I just find like one one felting needle, you know? So someone said that you could just use a regular needle. So I tried a regular needle, very little progress. And then I tried like a lace weight crochet hook, like the smallest crochet hook I have, which I think was like a 0.95. Um, and it was tearing up the sponge. It worked better than the needle, which I don't think did anything, but it didn't work great. And I was like, what if I just got it like a little damp and just like rolled it in my hands? And that wasn't the best result. So, but I want to talk about mental health. Sorry for the recap for those of you who are here about, but um, what was I saying? Yeah, my mental health has been bad. My sleep has been bad. You all know this. I thought I finally got my sleep back on schedule when I skipped sleeping the night before last. And I was like, oh, now I'll go to bed at like a normal time. And I did not. Well, I did go to bed at a normal time. I woke up at 10, so that's like normal enough. And by noon, I was back asleep. And I slept till like 5, and I was like, fuck. But I'm pretty depressed right now, and it's really hard not to just want to sleep all day when you're depressed. I mean, I think even if you don't have mental health issues, we've all been depressed. But like some of us can like push through and work and do things while we're depressed, and others of us cannot. Um, but yeah, so I'm seeing my psychiatrist tomorrow, and we're gonna try to figure stuff out. Um, I don't know how this is gonna work. If I'm gonna be honest, I don't actually think it's the sleep medicine's fault, because all of my old stuff isn't working either. That was working fine. It just had some side effects I wasn't super happy with. Like, so I don't think it's a sleep medicine issue. I think it's like my fucking brain. It's like something's like my mental health. Something's happening with it where like I drink away the day at a bar. I always sometimes I feel like that, but then I have like one or two drinks and I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I can't drink a lot of my medicine. I'm super lightweight now, which does make me a cheap date, but yeah, I feel you. Sometimes that urge of like, man, I just need a drink. It happens, but as long as you don't act on it and lose control of your facilities, you know, just be responsible. I feel like I have to say that, but I'm telekinetically saying we've all been there. You know what I'm saying? Like when I found out my lungs had collapsed, I was like, just take me to the bar. They're like, no, you're going home. I was like, but I just need. It's been a long day, and I just need a drink. Everyone was like, no. That's not fucking happening. So, anyways, I've been there. I don't have a license that solves my problems of drinking and driving. Yeah, well, that's good because, drinking and driving is very unsafe. We do not play that game here on my channel. I think it's one of the worst behaviors that someone can have, personally, but that comes from my own issues with uh, family members and things like that. So, anyways, yeah, let's not get stuck on that because I can get real dark real fast. But yeah, I know, Cammy. I know sometimes it's just like that. So, just be careful. Your body is not holding out. No one's body is gonna hold out forever, right? And when we push it to the limit, that time catches up to us. Eventually, I promise. So yeah. Sorry, I'm very sniffly. I was doing my felting right here, so like all of the particles are right here, and I'm like, probably should have cleaned my desk, but that would involve me cleaning my desk, and I have no motivation to do anything. I also need to dye my hair desperately. Look how bad that regrowth is. It's like a full inch. Maybe need like a small haircut, like a little trim. I can probably do that myself. I don't have dead ends because I take really good care of my hair, but definitely need a haircut on the sides. I keep on like feeling like the sides and the back, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so dumb. But because I'm so pale and my hair is so dark, whenever I cut my hair, it looks like I'm like my hair is thinning, and it's not. It's just my hair is super dark. Thank you, Nifty. I appreciate it. I like once it gets to this point, I'm like, yeah, we need a touch up. We need a touch up. Also, my green, which it looks better on camera than in person, because you're starting to see where it's starting to peek out some more yellow in it, which does kind of look cool, but I can tell that it's fading. So when I dyed my hair this past time, yeah, I really do like to change my hair. Um, So, I'm glad it's longer now. But sometimes when I'm manic, I get the urge to shave my head and or my eyebrows. This has happened multiple times. So don't be like, yeah, that'll never happen. No, it actually does happen. I'll be like, like manic laughing, like shaving my head. It's a mess. But I'm glad it's finally getting to a length where I can like style it curly, which right now it's just like, this is straight out of the shower, did not put any product in it, so it just looks frizzy. My hair is the kind of hair that needs product or it's just a frizzy. But Comanche hair, I guess. Oh, yeah, you have to be really, really careful and kind of let him know. Yeah, I want to go like full, like shave it down, but I just use trimmers because um, I do like the when you cut it with like a really short, not like full like blade to skin, but like when you cut it really short and you have that like texture. Hey Crystal, when you have that texture, like especially if you do a fade and it's really really short, and you're just like, oh yeah, Lydia, I told everyone to send you good thoughts. You do it with a razor. Yeah, see, my wife has a fear of like bald head, like shaved heads. She's got a lot of irrational fears. Um, yeah. If I do a buzz cut, it just like again because my hair is so dark and my scalp and my skin are so pale, it looks like my hair is like thinning really badly. I actually have a lot of hair, but like when it's this short and because the color difference, it just looks like I have fucking nothing, and it's really weird. Like, see how it just like looks like I have bald spots, but I don't. Like, I promise I don't. It's just like how my hair decides to like. I have crazy bad cowlicks. I don't know if that's the technical term, but I know enough people use it that I can. Yeah, I have tons of hair. Like, I shaved so much of it off, and I still have, like, more hair than my wife. Oh, I'm so sorry, Lydia, about your knee. Yeah, everyone wish, it's thicker. Yeah, for sure. But when I shave it, it just doesn't look like that. It doesn't look thick. No, now I, like, messed I made it more frizzy. I have, like, so, like, apparently, like, the reason my hair is the texture it is, because, like, I'm what you call a super white, where I have so much, like, European genetics that, like, my hair, like, you would not think that I have the hair texture that I do, but my mom has the same hair texture, and her great grandmother had the same hair texture. A lot of my mom's sisters have the same hair, where, hey, Diamond Crafter, another crystal. Yay, all the crystals. Um, but my great great grandmother was 100% Comanche, um, which um, her origins were out of Texas, but now the Comanche Nation is focused in Oklahoma. And they the texture I have. So my curl pattern, if you know like curl patterns, my curl pattern is a 2C, like when I put product in it. But my hair texture is a Z. Like it feels rough and coarse and awful, but my hair is super healthy. But apparently that's just my hair. And I've always thought like natives have like the most beautiful hair. It's so like smooth and like just like and then like apparently Comanche hair is a little different, a little different. Just my love. But of course, I'm nothing but proud of my heritage. So yeah, these are my finished objects. This is the Buy Pride flag using the drop stitch technique. I'm gonna go ahead and I already aired my dirty laundry. I'm showing this microphone, but you can see it stretches out quite a bit. But it won't stretch any more than just about this. I didn't like when I did the trans pride one. I didn't like how it was shaped at the bottom. How I had like a butthole bottom. Um, yeah, when I was really really young, I had curly hair. It was also blonde, which is crazy because my hair is almost black now. It's not quite black, but it's almost black. And then this stretches so much. Really, it's fun. Yeah, it's crazy. And especially like with the weight, a lot of people have curlier hair than they realize, but then they cut their hair and like it just like you don't have that weight pulling it down. Crystal, I love your hair. I love your curls. They're so pretty and they're so popping. I love when curls pop. Okay. And then I also made this bag. I've been making it for a while. I just keep on putting it down. So it is a sparkly. This is Big Twist Sparkle or Twinkle. Sorry. So it's a sparkly silver, and then it's Mexicana Rainbow. And because I did the two rows at once technique with this, I actually got a really cool fun way to actually see the color change. I really like it. My curly instead of my kids. Yeah, everybody wants what they don't have. Trust me, every hairstyle. I mean, everyone's different. A lot of people like cotton because it doesn't stretch. I think if you accommodate for the stretch of acrylic, it can be good, but it might not look good. Like one of these bags does not look good when it's not stretched out. So I think you can do it with yeah, my hair is like almost black. Like you almost can't even tell it's not black, but it's pretty close. Yeah, mine's very dark. Like mine doesn't have to be wet to look black. Especially next to like highlighter hair, it looks straight up black. Yeah, so a lot of people like cotton for bags, but for me, I save my cotton for packers. So, um, anyways, and then I'm making a stress ball, but I'm making it around a hair tie. So I got hair ties from. This might have been a bad move. If it was a bad move, don't tell me. Just let me make my mistakes on my own. But I got 20 hair elastics from Dollar Tree for $1.25. And then I started the stress ball pattern around it. Now, I've made this before by just doing like a chain in the center, but I know that like scrunchies have been like more popular now. So it's like, well, someone could use it as a stress ball or they could use it as a scrunchie. It's huge, but some people are into that, I guess. That's what I've seen. Okay. Are meant to be cat toys. Well, your cat can have fun with this and also be stress-free. This yarn is Favorite Stripes by Red Heart Super Saver. You can thank Lydia for this because Lydia is making a blanket with this yarn, and it inspired me to just finally pull the trigger and get it because every time I see it in the store, I pick it up, put it in my cart, and then I put it back. This time I was like, yeah, I know, right? It's like, so this is the third and final row. At the beginning, the strips were a little bit long, so I had like rows of just like one color, but then the minute you get to that final row, it's like everything's popping. You get all the colors. Wool. I didn't know I was allergic to any kind of wool. I hope it's not mohair because I really want to make that little, um, I was gonna make that amigurumi of my cat, and that's mohair. I touched it a little bit and didn't have a problem, but I touched that yarn a little bit, didn't have a problem. It was just when I kind of get has their hair green and black with silver cut into wolf cut with side shave. One looks a less edgy look. So that sounds awesome. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like the fibers are inside my nose and like in my throat. When I was like felting it, you can ask who was hanging out with me. It was Leather. Like I was like like the whole time. I was just like, and I was like, at first I thought maybe because I got the yarn at a thrift store. I started thinking that maybe the yarn had been like maybe like a little musty or something. So I was like, oh, this yarn's like a little musty or something. And then I was like, wait, no, this is not normal. And it's not it's not really like that. So then I realized I'm probably allergic to this yarn. And now working in the same space that yarn was in, I really just need to clean this whole shit up now because I feel like this area is contaminated. I'm sorry, Lydia. So yeah, everyone, send Lydia some healing love, healing vibes. She stepped in a pothole and hurt her knee really bad. So we know we are getting hurt out in these streets. Seems to be bothering a lot of people, including me. So I have this mohair that matches my cat exactly, and I tagged Noreen in it. Ooze leather. I tagged her on the Army of Weirdos post I posted a while ago. Oh, cool. Welcome in, Nifty. Also, if you have a Facebook, this is not any I need to add this to my iPod. If you have Facebook and you want to, we have a group called Army of Weirdos. Um and and it's on Facebook. There are a lot of Army of Weirdos. This is the one that has a green rectangular pillow that says fuck. But if you would like to come hang out with us there. Yeah, this is an awesome community. Feeling a little bit better from this weekend. Well, that's good, Zach. I'm really glad to hear that. Yes, Granny D. Oh, yeah, yes, send Granny D love. This is pretty, Granny D's going through pretty intense. Oh, thank you, Crystal. Yeah, whenever I try to put the link in, it's just so freaking long. Just like, but maybe it's because I'm the, like, admin? I don't know. But we've got a good community going on. I can see, like, the fucking strands of mohair inside this yarn. Oh, dog passions are. No, the thing is, like, our animals are part of our families, and you have to really, like, give yourself some grace to feel emotions, to feel grief. You're allowed to feel those feelings. They're perfectly valid, and to some people who don't have pets, they don't understand how truly integral they are to our family. So I understand it's very, very hard. I'm so sorry to hear that, Zach. Take your time, grieve as much as you need to. Maybe get something if you can to remember your dog. Um, you know, there's a lot of things that we can do to remember pets. And I think a lot more people are realizing that, okay, somehow something happened to my Pandora. This got real weird real fast. Okay, we're just gonna switch channels. Okay. Okay. So, if you thought this, okay. No, that's not precious dog, but I'm on this. Exactly, yes. So, if if you have the resources, you can get some cute stuff off of Etsy, or you can make stuff yourself. You can just frame a picture. Go to a thrift store, get a frame, and put a picture of you and your dog. Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. That's so sweet. I love that. Yeah, they're part of our family, and you're allowed to feel grief. So let yourself feel that. Don't put an end date. I gotta feel better by this. Just just feel what you feel, and don't judge yourself too hard for feeling it, because it's allowed. You're allowed to feel that way. So I'm in the final stretch of this row. I just have this much left, and then I will be done with this little squishy. I love the way this turned out. I'm a little surprised I got all of the colors, like, in one pass. So, but I didn't get as much blue, but there's a lot of blue on the inside, and then people can actually use it as like a hair tie. It's so corny. I was thinking about stopping a row ahead, but I was like, but it doesn't look quite right. But maybe I'll do some hair ties and stuff that are a little smaller. Thank you very much, Lydia. You're the reason I bought this yarn. I promise you, you were the reason I bought this yarn. You made that blanket look so good. I haven't had enough hair to wear a hair tie in like 7 years, so. Yeah, I think that's all great advice. And, like, honestly, like, we all have different ways of grieving. But just, we all always want to try to be gentle with ourselves, you know. I hope this isn't calling you out at all. But, like, I know you can have a tendency to, have some depression and stuff like that. And, don't, do your best to, uh, you know, just, not let this put you into a place, because your dog wouldn't want you to be depressed. Your dog would want you to be happy, because that's what dogs do. They are pure of heart. they are sweet eyes. You know, if it was a cat, I might second guess that judgment on my call, because sometimes I think my cat truly wants me to be on, and I don't think that I'm with this cat, but be happy or come and haunt me. So this is a little bit expensive, but it is a craft if you wanted to do it. I think there are some like companies that you can do like a paint by number. They make a paint by number for your animal or whatever picture you send in, and that could be cool to like paint a picture um of your dog. I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas. Take what you want. Yeah, I don't miss my long hair. It was so heavy, I was getting headaches all the time. If it went past my shoulders, I would get a headache because it was headaches like all the time because it was so heavy because I have so much hair and it is thick and it is coarse. So my head was like, nope. I have always said grief doesn't get better with time. You just become more comfortable. Yeah, can do with pictures. Oh, cool, Lydia. Yeah, if you could drop a link for that, that would be awesome. I don't know if you want to do that, Zach, but just an idea. Yeah, and grief is not linear. Some days you'll have better days than others. And it's so easy to say all this. No, you didn't, Zach. Honestly, we're just talking about what's going on with us, you know? That's that's always what I want. Please don't feel like that. Um, you know, it's like the thing is, we're humans. We come with baggage and stories and experiences that have shaped us, you know? And like, you're allowed to talk about those things, you know? This chat is literally called like mental health and finished object update. Like, I I came here to talk about how bad my mental health was. Don't think that you brought down the chat because I opened up this video to bring down the chat. Oh, Crystal, I'm so sorry. That's hard. Yeah, I know anniversaries of family members passing are so hard. Yeah. I think we've all told Winter, I think we've all told Zach that I think Zach is just a really sweet person who yeah, having YouTube friends there helps. That's why I come on here to talk about my mental health problems because you all help me. So I definitely can relate to that. But just know whenever you come on here, you are not expected to put on a happy face and have a great time. Just come as you are and we'll figure out the rest, okay? Just as long as you don't have hate in your heart, we are looking good to go. But you can be sad, you can be having a bad day, you can want to talk about it, you can not want to talk about it. That's fine. This is so cute. But yeah, so in case you missed my mental health update, I did it pretty early on in the video, but I just wanted to get through it. Um, so, oh my gosh, I need to take some like allergy meds. So yeah, as you all know, my sleep has been pretty bad the past couple of weeks. Yes, we have to remember we are human. We are allowed to have emotions. We're allowed to feel things, um, and we're like all of these things are normal and fine. Yeah, grief is a tough one, and there are people who there are therapists if you have access to that. Now I'm not talking about my feelings, or it's because it's important. Yeah, that's great advice, and obviously ogres is me. Um, so yeah, we definitely want you to be able to talk about things. But yeah, my sleep has been really bad, which I think is like doing this weird like circle jerky thing with with my mental health, because my mental health is bad, which is making my sleep bad, which is making my mental health bad. And so I'm talking to my psychiatrist tomorrow, and I think she's gonna. I've been waiting for prior authorization for the new sleep med she prescribed. But like honestly, like I don't know. I have this feeling. I'm glad that was empty. That literally knocked my. Yeah, I mean, we all do to a certain extent, and then we explode, and you know, that's not the best way to deal with it. But who's to say what the right way to deal with things is? Talking about it, getting better. Yeah, it is very important to learn how to talk things out um, before you end up in meltdown mode. But none of us are perfect. We're all gonna let's uncork those bottles. um, but yeah, just create a space where you can talk about things. You know, you should be able to talk about those things. You don't have to always go on the internet and be like a happy-go-lucky person. If you're honest and transparent, you know, the people who love you are gonna love you. Emotional champagne. My wife told me something funny. She saw this thing on the internet. I don't know where she saw it, but she was like, some person like started as a server, and the table ordered a bottle of champagne, and the person who was opening the champagne, had only ever seen people like shake up the bottle and like spray it everywhere. So they did not. People who ordered it. Oh, I'm so sorry, Lydia. You're allowed. We're all allowed to feel these feelings, and I think once you realize, um, I feel like once we realize that we're not alone in this experience, and we're allowed to feel those things, things tend to change quite a bit. Okay, so I just need to sew this end in, obviously, but like that is very cute if you ask me, my professional opinion. So there's the prolapsed anus of it all. I guess it's not prolapsed yet, but there's but you can stretch it. It stretches the inner, but because we added so many stitches, it's fine. Never shake the bottle. Yeah, this person just didn't know because they didn't know that's not how you open champagne most of the time. Um, so, yeah, so they learned the hard way. I mean, that's pretty embarrassing. I'm gonna be honest. But they posted on the internet, so they know it's embarrassing. Pre-prolapse. Aren't we all in pre-prolapse if we're not in post-prolapse? I am anti-prolapse. I once read this thing where um, like you, I mean, you all know about my sexuality and stuff, but like, it's like you fucked up if it doesn't go back to where it was before. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Sorry, prolapse. I deal with extreme emotions with Charlotte talking through it, with being vulnerable. Learn better. Yes, yes, we're all a work in progress, and once we realize that we're not alone in that, you know, uh, progression of learning, we can talk about it and we can get better. For some things, they're more severe and you do need, you know, professional help. I know for me, like I can't live a life without professional help, right? But not everyone's like that. Some people can talk to their friends, talk to people around them, and they can feel fine. So just kind of recognize what you need, what's working. And, you know, I think okay, she's done. Oh my gosh, this would be really cute for like clown cuffs. I'm not really into clowns. I don't have a problem with them. I'm just not like a big clown person, but like this would be really cute for some little cuffs. They have like a little bit of weight to them, but they're not that heavy, and they would be super cute. I kind of want to be a clown now. Have like a little ruffly collar. Yes. Should I do a clown costume? Okay, but you can also, so you can have your squishy ball just like this, or you can take um, your ball and like, twist the, inner thing. And watch Slime Punk film and feel sad. I'll cheer you up. Even you don't know. That's adorable. Oh. I won't cry in front of people. Well, that's fine. You don't have to cry in front of people to be sad, to express your emotions. If you need to if you're having an emotional day, you need to turn off your camera, you need to turn off your microphone, and just have a twist that pre-prolapse. So yeah, yeah. Uh, but I kind of like it untwisted, if I'm speaking personally. But everyone's different. Um, it's cute. This is super fun. It does for me. It takes a while because like towards the end, you're doing like 200 stitches around. But whatever. Yeah. So I'll probably do a couple different things with this yarn. I have the neon bright stripe. Oh my gosh. Can just someone tell me that this looks like a clown wrist thing and I should be a clown because I kind of want to be. um, let me just start another one while we're talking. We just hit an hour. Yeah, I really like this one because it looks like a brain. I I keep on meaning to donate them. It's not that I'm like, I'm gonna donate and I don't. Okay, thank you, Crystal. I appreciate that. Very clowny. Yeah. I like to stretch them before, especially if they're really cheap. When at a younger age. I was even accused of lying because I didn't cry. Yep. I am, yeah. Not all therapists are for all people. Um, and stress sun. Nice. Yeah, stress balls are great to make. Yeah, I haven't had anyone doubt my specific issues, but my wife has been in that position. And if someone says, hey, you're not showing emotions the way that we see fit, so you're not experiencing this, they're not the person for you. Just get out. Don't argue with them. Just be like, okay, well, I'm going to get out of here, and also I'm not going to pay you. So, bye. Those people don't deserve your money, your time, your brain power, your anything. Because we all show emotions differently, and that's fucked up beyond all possible belief. I remember when my wife told me, I was like, "Does this person still practice? Because I'll go fight them." I'm very fighty. Just yeah, exactly. The detachment, dissociation. It's taken me a long time to find therapists, and I have to go to therapists all the time. Um, Due to kind of people just getting frustrated that I'm not getting better. So it's like dating, but like the worst part of dating where like you're trying to find someone that you just like don't totally hate being around or someone you feel like you can trust. And you're not always going to find that immediately. So if you don't find it immediately, just change. It's fine. I know they do this for the US. I know I have some folks not in the US here, so I don't know what's available. But if you are looking for a therapist, psychologytoday.com, I'll type it in the chat, is a great way to find people. You can also find out if they're in network with this is a great way to find psychologists. So that's a good way to find people, find their specialties, find if they take your insurance. Yes, exactly. Like my older sister, like she just doesn't remember huge chunks of her childhood. For me, I remember way too much of my childhood. Like we all experience it differently, even though we experience very similar trauma, you know? There's no right way to deal with things, you know, and anyone who tells you that there is hasn't dealt with shit. And honestly, Mel always does this, and I love it. I got told that last night from another person, and she was like, "This is random." I have no memories at all, even as an adult. Yeah, my ability to like have a memory, like it's so bad right now, and people are like, "Well, it could be ADHD, it could be your borderline and your dissociative amnesia, or it could be your PTSD." So, pick one. Yeah, your memory sucks, but there's a reason. It's your brain trying to protect itself, right? Our brain and our bodies do a lot of things to try to protect us that actually can sometimes end up being more harmful than helpful because it's hard to process through a lot of Swiss cheese memory for sure. Um, where it's trying to protect us so that we don't have to feel that pain. And sometimes if we felt that pain, we could tackle it maybe a little bit easier, but you've got to get through this additional wall. There's no right way or wrong way to experience trauma, but to address it if you have the resources is a big thing, not self-medicating, not and that's not just about, you know, like illicit drugs, but any way that we could self-medicate. You know, it could even be buying too much yarn to fill the void in our hearts, you know. The things aren't great, but sometimes we're just doing our actually usually we're just doing our best and we're just here for the ride. Um but yeah, um so just be patient with yourself. Trauma and traumatic experiences are very, very challenging. And Mel always says when she finds a therapist, she always asks them about themselves, which I generally don't, but I should, because like Mel always says, I like someone with a little bit of stank on them, and I love that, right? Where she was like, she wants someone who's been through other stuff. Yeah, I've tried EMDR, but I have a hard time sticking with it because I shut down as soon as things get painful. I shouldn't, but it's really hard. Okay. That person knows how I am. She always helps me out. And so that BPD causes issues with how to put events back in order, but that's a symptom of PTSD. Or yeah, I mean, there's such a strong link between PTSD, trauma, and BPD. So I mean, it's really hard to parse out when you have comorbid conditions. Yeah. I think there's like now like a movement where like people have talked about like is like PTSD and the use of like trauma like over um and I'm like, I don't know, like the thing is anything can be traumatic to anyone for any reason, and it doesn't invalidate someone else's trauma for you to have experienced trauma. Like a car could backfire and that could be a traumatic experience for you, and you know, like you could feel that way. Oh, interesting. I don't think I'm autistic. I mean, I know I have some symptoms that look like it, but I don't think I'm autistic. I know you are autistic. I know Winter is as well. Um, but uh, but uh, but yeah, I think that a lot of things like you know, I heard you know, if you don't watch Dr. Mike on YouTube, let me get his little tag thingy. Sorry, I don't mean to do that. So like, in the camera, but I love Dr. Mike. Okay, it's just, um, I I love Dr. Mike, but he talks about a lot of things that he said something that I really liked, but now I don't remember it, so never mind. But just go watch his stuff. But he also is one of those people who is like, I didn't redraw them. I did draw them once, but Madonna didn't get back to me. Yeah, if you just type in at Dr. Mike, it comes up. And he's got a really interesting story. I don't really watch most of her stuff, but like Lord DIY did a pod, and her partner did do a podcast called like something after 9 or something, and I they did a really interesting podcast with him, and he's awesome. And she said, I'm lying and misrepresenting myself, which means I probably have BPD. I mean, so, like, I feel like BPD, so, like, first of all, obviously, get away from that person, right? That person sucks. I will redraw, but I'm just having such a hard time with my depression. Honestly, it's been really difficult, so I'll try to get on that. I keep on forgetting because it's just so low on the priority list for me, unfortunately. But I promise I will, because I want to be true to my word. I'm really sad that Madonna didn't get back to me, but I can't do anything else. Like, I've commented on her videos. Yeah, I mean, but like that to me, like what you said, Winter, like shows so many red flags, because obviously, like, there's a ton of yeah, people have to actually listen to the patients, and if they're not listening to their patients, they're clearly not the practitioner for you. And because, like, that's what I was having when I was getting misgendered a lot, at that, like, even that primary care's office, they kept on not listening to me, and I was like, well, I'm not paying for shit because you did nothing for me. So fuck off. But like for me, like I do have BPD, but there's a huge stigma in the mental health community, even among professionals, surrounding BPD. So, like, the fact that they're like, you're lying, that means you have BPD. Like, to me, that resonates, because I've heard shit like that, and I'm like, you think, wait, what? Like, you think that's like, that's not how it works. And misrepresenting yourself could be so many different things. But it also sounds like she might have mistaken your self-awareness as you lying, which is bullshit, because you should be able to have some level. Like, a lot of people have levels of self-awareness even if they can't stop that behavior. Like me. I was telling her I used to get really upset at abandonment as a lady teen, but I don't feel that way anymore. As I didn't work on myself, she was like, nope, it still affects you. Oh my gosh, what a like, fuck her. I feel like quite a few want to diagnose you after 10-minute questionnaire. It's like, what the hell? Because we may take things along. Yeah, exactly. I literally I had that problem when I went to the that primary care, because they did this thing where it almost felt like entrapment, where they were like trying to like get me to like admit that I was like more like feeling more SI than I actually was. And they asked 10 questions at once, and they're like, have you ever felt suicidal, or like you want to hurt yourself? And I was like, yeah. Like, and so they're like, so we're gonna, like, do you think we're kind of thinking we should send you to the hospital? I'm like, you asked if I ever felt that way. Like, what the fuck? You're not listening to me. Get fucked. Don't put that on my chart, because if my surgery gets scheduled, I will be up here and ready to put a boot up your ass. So, I don't promote violence, but if brake lines get cut, brake lines get cut. I'm just kidding. I'm not implicating myself on anything. I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you've done so much work on yourself. People don't recognize that. Yeah, exactly. But they also asked me like 10 questions at once. So it was like they were trying to like people see that I have that and they're just like, yeah. And then, like, I've had, like, with my top surgery, I've had exceptions made on, like, the letters of support that I need. Just so you know, when people talk about how easy it is to transition, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're talking on their ass, because it's literally so fucking hard. To, like, medically transition, I should say. Like, you can socially transition, and that can still be hard, but it's totally different. You don't need anyone's, like, permission to socially transition, right? I mean, anyways, I feel like I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth, so never mind. But like, to medically transition, it's not like you go in one day and they're like, okay, let's schedule you tomorrow, you get your surgery. That is not what happens. And so someone just saw that I had bipolar and was like, okay, well, we're gonna need a note from your psychiatrist that you're stable. And I'm thinking, when am I ever stable? I was like, fuck. Yeah, it's not like, how do you currently feel? Are you safe? Like, do you feel safe, being at home, or do you feel like you need additional levels of care? And I showed a lot of signs that I was self-aware enough to, like, put myself into treatment. I've shown several signs over the years that if I know I need treatment, I will put myself in treatment. I tell everyone that. And then if they don't think I will do that, then they're not the doctor for me. I'm like, get fucked. Um, yeah. And we evolve as people. Even if we're not mentally ill, we evolve as people, and things that used to make us mad might not make us mad anymore. Abandonment issues aren't like a one-to-one correlation of, I mean, even if you were hiding and like, and maybe you thought you were over it and you weren't, that is a horrible way to deal with things. Don't tell people how they feel. Ask people how they feel. Ask questions that will help them kind of peel back the layers and see if it is true that they do actually still feel that way, or if they feel differently. Like, no one should ever be telling you how you feel, right? I don't know any experience I've had where that has been successful. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was violent. Yeah. Oh, I'm so itchy. Yeah, that's all. I mean, to be able to, I mean, I've not been able to make a lot of progress by myself. I've needed a lot of help, and I'm always in awe of your ability to take control of your own mental health and do a lot of changes. So I think I think everyone in here deserves a round of applause, because you've all been taking care of yourself and figuring out what you need to be the best version of yourself, and you should really be, thankful. Not thankful. You should be proud. Sorry. I mean, you should be proud of yourselves for being able to make those changes, because that's very difficult, and not all of us can do it. You know. That could be a series with fear it some to see one. Yeah, and I think also, like, I feel like it has to be coupled with, like, positive experiences that you've had with therapists, right? But also, like, honestly, like, that can be, like, incredibly traumatic to people. I don't wanna, like, discount your idea, because I think it would be cool to know, like as people who have experienced therapy, like, you know, what to realize, because some of us experience this and don't know that that's, like, a form of, like, medical abuse in some cases, right? And so I think it would be good to, like, inform people of, like, hey, if you spot this, like, this is a red flag. Because I've had people do things where I didn't realize it was a red flag. Like, I literally had a psychiatrist try to fucking seduce me, and I didn't realize that was what was happening. Um, and that was fucking weird. So, like, I think it would be good to, like, warn people. I thought, I'm gonna get out of this bad. I don't feel like myself there. That's awesome. I mean, just the ability to work on yourself is a huge step. I talked the other day in a live about, like, doing, like, maybe, like, an hour a week or something, where if we have, like, self-help workbooks, or, like, we want to find a sheet on the internet, like a worksheet on the internet that we want to, like, fill out, that we should do that. Like, just, would anyone else be interested in that? Because I have all these self-help, like, workbooks related to my, look, it's a fiery butthole. This is your butthole after Taco Bell. It. Anyways, sorry. Sorry, I'm gross. Just heads up. But we could do that. And also, if you don't have the resources for a therapist, I am trying to become a life coach, and so I am not. I you know yeah. But yeah, so we could have some time to do that. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. Not to be taken lightly. But yeah, I'm bad about getting around to actually doing workbooks, so worksheets. So, like, if we wanted to do that, I think that would be really cool. At the oh, not the self-help. I know. As if you ever remember what we were saying. Yep, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, so what day, if people want to do that, what day would work best for you? Worksheets would be great. Okay, awesome. What day works best for everyone, or time in general? Just let me know. Make sure if you put times that you also put what time zone you're in, so I make sure that I know to accommodate for that. Because, I mean, I don't really have a fucking life. You literally get to view, like, almost 100% of my social interaction. Okay. What is time? I cannot answer that for you. I legitimately do have time blindness, so can't say it, but I have it. And oh yeah, what I was saying is, if you can't afford a therapist, life coaching might be a more affordable, if not free, option for you, depending. But I'm trying to get into life coaching. I feel like I'm generally a pretty good listener when I'm not on live, so mornings don't do me. Yeah, mornings don't do me. Uh, so that's a great question, Nifty. So if you, once you press subscribe, you will not get notifications when I'm on. You actually have to click that button again, and it will say different bells will come up. One says like always, one says like on my feed, or one says none. And yeah, so you want to make sure you have the all bell on. Thank you for asking, because I do kind of tend to go live at random times, but we have like a scheduled group time. I'll just put something on the schedule where it's like a reoccurring event. But so a life coach is different from a therapist. A life coach cannot diagnose you, cannot give you medical advice, but I like to view it as like a friend who you can just like vent to, and who can either give you advice if that's what you want, or who can just listen to you. I do that. So if you want that, you can go to my my Facebook page, which is called Ian Walker, life coach. I'm gonna try to get the link for you. Hopefully it's not like 8 pages long. That always bothers the shit out of me. Okay, that wasn't hard at all. Okay, let's see. So, here we go. What is shadow work? I actually don't know what shadow work is. Yeah, if you were subscribed and didn't ring that bell, then you would see me come up on your like feed, but you wouldn't Pretty got too dark. Yeah. I don't know if that was supposed to be a joke or if that was real, but I mean, you're laughing at the thing. Shadow work is sort of like a spiritual thing where you explore yourself deeply. Man, I should explore myself deeply more often. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. But anyways, okay, yeah. I don't like myself, so I feel like I just need someone to like correct my brain. That would be awesome. But interesting, yeah. Any kind of work, we just take that time, work on ourselves. We don't really have to talk about it. We don't have to. So one thing that I really want to make sure that we don't do is do like a bunch of trauma dumping. And trauma dumping can be very dangerous because it can put people in a bad place that weren't in a bad place before, and it can also create a really unhealthy like circle, like cyclical downward spiral of a friendship and group, right? So we want to make sure that we're not doing that. So I think we should work on that. Maybe I'll put some like fucking chill hop or whatever on. We'll just hang out. If anyone wants to share like a kernel of something that they're like, hey, I just realized I do this. Like that's cool. You don't have to be. It doesn't have to be a secret. But I don't want everyone to like dump all of the stuff that they put there, because you and ego and separate the two kind of sort of. Interesting. Cool. I'll go look into that. But I gotta be really careful about what I do because I'm really prone to just throwing myself headfirst into work and then I get super traumatized. And I'm like, I can't do anything for a month. I'm such a sensitive person. It's embarrassing. But anywho. But yeah, if you want to look into my life coach page, I don't share anything. That is fine. You don't have to share anything. You can just come and work on a thing. What I'll do at the beginning is I'll find like a very general worksheet, like, hey, I'm stressed. What should I do? And it'll be like steps to like get through stuff. But that was me 2 months into EMDR. Yeah, that was me like 3 weeks into EMDR. I was like, I can't fucking do it. But like, you can do the worksheet that I provide. You can do your own worksheet. You can do your own workbook. You can do nothing. You can just hang out and crochet. But I think that could be something cool that we all did. Who I am. That's totally fine. You don't have to share anything you don't want to with anyone. Like that's not what this is not going to be that type of session. Okay, we're just going to be here physically, not physically, virtually supporting each other, working on ourselves. That's it. Like I said, if you want to share something, you can, but this is not the space for trauma dumping. We don't want to bring other people down inadvertently because we needed to get some tough stuff out. But also, we should be able to share, like, hey, I made a breakthrough. Like, hey, I did something good. Like, so we'll have like a little positivity moment maybe at the end just to kind of get our heads out of it. I also really like this practice that one of my old group therapists did in my IOP, which she would like at the beginning of the session, she would light a candle and I like, it's just one of those like little things, but at the end of the session, she would blow the candle out and it would just kind of like signify the end of a session. And I really like that. So maybe we'll do something like that. Yeah, I like that. I talked about neurodivergent art. Not neurodivergent, sorry. Neurographic art. There's a lot of things on it, but it's really, really, yeah, that's a great question. We always get asked what we learned that week. That's awesome, yeah. Yeah, I love that. I'm gonna fucking screenshot that. We might put that in. Yeah, so it's always nice to reflect because I think a lot of us tend to think in very black and white terms where we're like, okay, like, you know, everything is bad or everything is good. I know I'm definitely that person. And money is definitely a legit part of a lot of our struggles. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, just because it's physical and, you know, it would be nice, but like, so like, you know, and like, I talked about neurographic art. Let me find the video on my channel. This was a really like nice art practice that I learned about in group. Don't I have like but I did like a little bit of neurographic art. I think I did it. Did I do just the makeup or did I do? But anyways, you can Google this, and it is a great way to explore questions like that. But it actually was created to help us solve these issues in our brain. So yeah, I did the makeup, but but I don't know. If you want to look at the makeup I did, it's generally not done with makeup. It is not. It's the worst material. Like, it's like the inside of a bathing suit. It's awful, but it's cute. But yeah, so let me find an actual video. And there are so many videos. Also, it was developed in Russia, and so if you didn't study, and it's called Neurographica, but if you didn't study at that institute, then it's neurographic. So you might see either one of those. But this is like I'll find a quick video. And you can look at as many videos as you want, but it's actually, you actually create connections with your neurons. It's actually supposed to look like your neurons, and it's really interesting. So it can actually help us solve questions. I don't actually know. Probably, but so so you can look on my channel for the makeup, and in the try to change the description. Okay. So I'm gonna put it below the fundraiser. Neurographic art video. Okay, so it's below my fundraiser, and I'm saving the changes. It's not there yet, so. Okay, so now it is in my thing. I know sometimes you can right click on things or click on like the 3 buttons and like put like do the like watch later and then you'll come back, or I don't know. So like there's different. Yeah, that's what I do. I just save everything I want to watch later, and then I never watch it because I forget it exists. I know I have some IOP groups tonight, or like alumni groups. Let me see. Okay, so I also forget it exists. Yes. Yeah, definitely a good question. But yes. But if you want to check out that video, there's a lot of ways to do it. This person really purchased it from like an art method, but like other videos you watch will approach it more as a therapy method. But I think this one's the simplest to understand. And we'd even do that for one of our sessions if people were interested. I could like kind of lead the group, but if you like didn't want to, if you didn't want to share or you want to do something else, that would be fine. I also like the shadow work question because I think that's good. But I think a question like that would be really good for neurographic art. Click and reload me. Reload me. Okay, let me see what is going on. So yeah, tree. And I'm very thirsty. Okay, so the 12th. Okay, dream processing support group. No. Teen songwriting. No. Breath, body, mind group. No. I mean, maybe, but no. Improv group. Those things are really different. But certain questions best to work with therapists to get a real deep. Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes you need like additional questions, like provoking questions to kind of move through. Yeah, that's totally reasonable. I just want to get over those obstacles to success those. Someone please reprogram me. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's what like maybe we can talk about, but also I think there's a lot of ways that we can help ourselves to kind of figure those things out. So women's workshop, not applicable. Moon Journal Studio, that sounds fucking cool. 8:30 to 9:30. That does get in the way of so that's at 8:30. Okay. Knitting and crochet. Yeah, see that's at 9. Um how do I fucking sign up for this? Yeah, this is a schedule for my IOP alumni group. But I don't fucking like Discord. Stop trying to make me go on Discord. Ugh. I'm in this one Discord group, and like honestly, it's just like beep, 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 beep all day long, and I'm just like, I don't fucking care. Oh, I don't want to go in the women's group. I clicked in the moon. Okay, register here. There we go. I just can't read. Okay, so we're in the moon journal group. I'll do half of that. And then obviously I'm doing the knitting and crochet one because I love my peeps. And the person who runs it, they're so awesome. I'm just obsessed with them. They're the sweetest. Okay. Okay, and then the rest is like on Tuesday. It's Monday, right? Okay. I was like, what day is it? Time. I'm too old to get Discord. I don't get it. I don't get why like some things you have to get like you want to get behind me? Dude. Okay. There you go, good boy. There you go, good boy. That's a good boy. Everyone, this is Riker. Do you know Riker? Don't judge me by how dirty my desk is. You have no idea how bad it is. This is Raker. He's my number one. Turn up the music. I named him not after Rikers Island, but after the number one best boy, and also the from Star Trek Next Generation. And then his brother is Jean-Luc, as in Jean-Luc Picard. So we have some Star Trek boys in the house. Isn't he so cute? Yes, it did name him after Star Trek. We're big Star Trek fans. Yeah, he's got a white undercoat. He's gotten more white as time's gone on. So he's got a little white chin and a little white neck. He's got some white spots. He's a 4-year-old getting back home and look just like me. Huge Star Trek fan. Oh, awesome! I love Star Trek. Who's your favorite captain? I won't judge you for it. I mean, each one is different, but I'm always curious. I love Star Trek. You missed it. Riker and I were singing the Star Trek theme song, and I was playing with his ears. Come here, Jelly. I'll show you my cat if you want. This is Jean-Luc, IEJL, named after Jean-Luc Picard. He's a big old boy, but he's also very long, so like he looks extra big, but he's full of piss and vinegar. He's a Sour Patch Kid for sure. And you see how cute his face is? Isn't he cute? He's so handsome. Now my hands smell like dog. Yeah, Picard is awesome. I like Picard as a character better than I like Kirk as a character. But like Kirk's like just like the sheer just fucking Kirkness of it all. I don't know. I have a really hard time deciding. I did grow up on Next Gen and then eventually went back to the original series. Yeah, Cisco was like, I'm not fucking around. I did love that. I didn't watch what was the series with Janeway? I didn't watch that one. There are a lot of people with those names. Yes, I mean Jean-Luc is a French name. But yeah. Of course, Jean-Luc, not into Janeway. I know a lot of people aren't. I didn't watch that one. What was that? Star Trek? I keep on wanting to think it's Voyager. Is that right? I do know that the woman who played Janeway was on Orange Is the New Black, and she was awesome in that. I didn't watch a lot of that show. I think I watched 2 seasons, and I was like, this is boring. Janeway. Voyager. Okay, that's right. Yeah, Kate Mulgrew. I've seen most of the movies. I think never watched an episode. Yeah, I've never seen it. I love Deep Space Nine. I'm gonna go. Okay, understandable. Bye, Winter. Yeah, Cisco was like for sure. He was like just not playing around and was like literally having no one shit. Like I love when they was it Cisco. It was Cisco that like didn't Cisco like backhand Q. I don't know. It was funny. Like, but they were talking about how like Picard like played chess with Q, and Cisco was just like. I know that's not a backhand, but I couldn't. I did fear like throwing my crochet hook or whatever. So, and I felt a lot of jiggling going on in this area. I did not really like that. But yeah, I love the movies. The ones that I've seen, obviously. I haven't watched all of the original series movies, or like probably half of the. Let's go to just I haven't watched half of the Star Trek movies. I do have a Wrath of Khan tattoo. Wrath of Khan is my favorite, hands down, without question. And I actually made a friend. We've been friends for years now, over 10 years probably. But we both love Wrath of Khan and watch it like at least once a month. And which I haven't watched it in like 3 months. Oh my gosh! But he is unfortunately dying from ALS. And so, it like we both love Star Trek so much. It's something we bonded over. And so I really wanted to get a tattoo for him, and it only made sense to do a Wrath of Khan tattoo. And here, I gotta show you, but I don't know how I'm gonna show you because like it's on the back of my leg. This is really weird. Okay. Okay. I feel like I'm showing you like literally my ass. Okay, this is so weird. Yeah, it's just a lot of ass. I do apologize for that. Okay, so it's the Star Trek insignia. It's got fuck, who's ready? I totally forgot. My brain just like stopped working all of a sudden. I like science. He likes engineering. And then it's the hands on the like between each other on the glass. It's Spock's and Kirk's, and it says, "I have been and always shall be your friend." And if you know that I'm gonna spoil the next, I'm gonna spoil Star Trek 2 and 3 for you. So that's the moment where Spock dies, and and but so he says that, so it's a huge moment in their friendship, and there's just so many beautiful lines about like when they're sending Spock's casket off into space, and it lands on this planet. Um, they there's this beautiful line about like of all the creatures and everything I've met, his soul by far was the most human. Um, it was uh, it was such a, oh my gosh, my heart was like, oh, every time I think I cry. um, but in Star Trek 3, it's called Search for Spock, and they are focusing on bringing Spock back to life and bringing Spock's well, really, he comes back to life, but he transfers his memories before he dies. Due to the fantasy of science fiction. And they eventually are reunited. Spoiler alert. And so it's like we'll be reunited later. So it was a very like special moment to get that tattoo. And then also, this was really really hard if you ever try this. um, but I had to find many. I had to call many tattoo parlors and say, hey, like I'm doing this tattoo. It's a kind of like memorial piece, but for someone who's currently alive. Told them like a little bit about it, because really like tattoo parlors tend to not give a whole lot about the details of why you're getting a tattoo. But just the general rule, because they've heard it all, right? But I was like, I would really like to be able to have on the day that I get my tattoo, be able to print the design on temporary tattoo paper so that he can get the tattoo with me. And like get the tattoo. Like he's dying. It doesn't make sense for him to get a tattoo. So also he's already in so much pain. Like that's awful. I would like that, yeah. I'll be in there in a second. Um, but um, but a lot of people don't want to do that because they think you'll take their art and go price shopping. And I was like, I promise, like, that's not what I'm about. Like, it's just really like I wouldn't be able to get that for him. So I finally found a place that would do that for me. And they were so cool, and she did such a great job on the tattoo. I love this tattoo. I wish it was somewhere in a place where I could see it more, but like I didn't. I wanted to make sure I had enough space for it. But he got the temporary tattoo on his arm, which was really cool to have that moment together. And I could print it out on like temporary tattoo paper. So yeah, it was really special. And he didn't tell his wife either that he was getting the temporary tattoo. So he showed up and he was like, "Babe, I got a tattoo." She was like, "That's clearly a temporary tattoo, Chris." But yeah, so that was really special. And I also wanna get another tattoo. So I have this. You all don't get to see this tattoo very often, right? So this is a haunted house. It's a little muddy because I don't take great care of my tattoos, but it looked great when I first got it. It still looks good, but doesn't look as good as it did. But anyways, so I got this haunted house. I wanted it for a long time, but I want to do like a whole like kind of gothic, dark, black and gray sleeve. And I was deciding on what I wanted to put on it, um, and he I'm gonna get a chandelier right here. Probably ornate but covered in cobwebs and stuff like that. And it's because of a comment that he said. So he's in the middle of, I think, liver failure. All of his organs are failing at various paces. But so like his doctors were like, "Do you want to be put on the donor list?" And he's like, "Honestly, like all of my organs are gonna fail. Like it doesn't make sense." And he was like, "It's like putting a chandelier in a haunted house." And I was like, that's such like a beautiful, like, I don't know, like the phrase was just like really impactful for me. And like, honestly, he just was like showing that, he just had kind of accepted what was going on. So I want to get the chandelier because I have the haunted house, and that'll also be for him. And I'll always have him right with me. But so where I want it is where they will do the skin graft for my phalloplasty if I ever get that skinny. You have to lose a lot of weight to get phalloplasty if you're my size. And that's where I want my that's where they do the skin graft, right, on your non-dominant arm, from this graft, this piece of skin. So if I got it on there, it would be destroyed. So I have to wait for that. But so anyways, but I'm gonna go. Thank you for listening to me talk about things. And we're in flaming hot Cheeto territory. I might. So do you think this would look okay, like this size, and not be like fully rainbow, but just like this is getting close to 2 rows. The other one, I don't know anyone who loses as much stuff as I think. Flaming. Yeah. So this is 3 rows, and this is just about 2. I still think it gives a cute, more wearable, more like wearable ponytail holder. Cause I think this is pretty big for a ponytail holder, but I don't wear ponytail holders. What do you ponytail people think? Ponytail people. It's not as much of like a squishy brain. I guess you could twist it and still get like a little bit of brain squish, but definitely not. Yeah. So yeah. So do you think 2 would be good, or should I go for the 3? Say yes is my vote. I should go for the 3, or should go for, or I could do 2. Because like that's what it would look like balled up and twisted, which is still like a good hand size. 2. Okay, cool. That's what I was thinking. I was heading for that, and I think I will still be in like the red when I finish. So it'll be like kind of a, fiery one instead of like full rainbow. Where I think you have to get to that third row to get full rainbow. Because this one on the inside, it's pretty much all blue and purple. You can see. Now it looks pro-lab. See? It was pre-pro-lab before, now it's pro. Okay, I'm gonna go eat some dip because my wife made some delicious dip for the Super Bowl, and I just came for the food. I don't like football. It is incredibly boring. Also, Usher, that show is good. And Ludacris, when Ludacris came out, we lost our shit because we're like, there better be Ludacris. But anyways, but yes, so I'm gonna go. Thank you all for hanging out with me. We had a great 2 hours, and I will see y'all around these streets. I hope that I get less stressed, and I hope anyone else who's dealing with some mental health or other issues, they start to get a little bit better. I love you all. I'll talk to you later. Bye.